Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one. Between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rocking Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Coming up, an important division. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the Young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production, and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap, whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run it with Kamara, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career. And he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
Malcolm Jenkins entered the NFL as a cornerback and has transitioned to safety, but still retains his good coverage skills.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man complete. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, 73 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. Hey, that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Breeze now to throw. Well, this is caught by Ginn. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. To throw is Breeze. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
It's easy to go back to the time when Ndamukong Suh entered the NFL, and he was an absolute force right from the beginning. But it's been fun to watch his career progress, and I'm starting to see a little more finesse in his game, although I'm not sure he'd like me to describe it that way. But you see the agility, you see the movement, and, of course, he can bull rush when he needs to get to the quarterback.
Now Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? We're on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoffs. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
Becomes that us against defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Bucs have taken the lead. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Now Taylor, and he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. Couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do, beating lanes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
On second down, Kamara trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
95-56, 95-56. Watch the slant. Jim.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Again has it complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 24 yards. And you give him that much time to throw, especially on 3rd down, he's going to pick you apart.
You've got to increase your urgency. Even if you don't blitz or bring extra people on the pass rush, the guys going after him, they've got to get home. Otherwise, exactly as you described, he picks you apart and picks up yet another first down. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Looking to throw again on second down. Breeze. The Sanders has got it complete. Lead to it made at the Bucs 16. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runners. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 10 more there and another first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum.
And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Now, Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the 41, Brady. And this is caught by Evans. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, 59 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a back and they have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Kamara. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
On 2nd and a couple, Breeze. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Vance McDonald, 46 yards. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
Wait, that's 53! 47! Watch the run! 53, lead now!
Brady now on first down. Being chased out left. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
47 Mike, 47 Mike.
Shotgun now for Brady. It's caught. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on second down. Brady, and he finds Howard complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Tom Brady, his third touchdown pass of this first half. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go! Let's go!
Automatic first down.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. From the gun, it's Breeze. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Breeze. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 53. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Let's go! Let's do it!
So we've come upon halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give yards there.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And that is caught. Oh, what a catch at the 5-yard line. The end result, 21 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They'll try to run this one in. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.